Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, as you can tell by today's title, we are going to talk about Noah's Ark. I know, Noah's Ark. I'm number one. I just rewatched it. This is why I'm doing this video. I just rewatched it. This might be my fourth time watching Noah's Ark. I think four times. Um, but it's my first time watching it in like maybe 10 years, I want to say. Maybe not 10. Maybe like 7 or 8 years. I haven't seen this since, such a long time ago. So I decided to watch it because it's on Paramount. So I was like, let me watch it. Let me see how I feel about it. I felt so nostalgic. It felt so nostalgic watching this show. And I'm just so happy that we're finally making content around it because from what I saw, from what I heard, they're bringing the show back with the original cast. They're doing a reading, they're getting the script together, they're doing the things, and I'm excited. I will be watching. I sure will be. Um, I did not know. I knew it was only 2 seasons, but I did not realize that the seasons were so short. 9 and 8 episodes, respectively, between the 2 seasons, plus the movie. And I had no idea that it was that short. For me, Noah's Ark was like at least 20 episodes per season, but apparently it wasn't. Apparently it wasn't. Oops, excuse me, y'all. Now, like with all my everything wrong with videos, I'm gonna go through character by character. However, I can't find single cast photos like I can on other shows I've done where I can just put the picture of the person on the screen. So I may not do that for this video, so I do apologize for that. I swear, but I'll keep the show's cover photo up here so you guys can see that. But I hope you know the characters by their names so you guys can get an idea who I'm talking about when I talk about them. And yeah, let's get started. Now, before we actually get started though, please give the video a thumbs up. Make sure you guys leave a comment and also subscribe if you haven't done so already. Because that really does help me out. So first we'll go through some of the more minor characters, the one-off characters, some of the characters that don't last that long on the show, but they had a little point to make. And I thought we would start with T Money. As you remember, T Money was the homo thug that was trying to woo and boo up Chance. Chance wanted to like dip his toes into the little thug lifestyle because his man, Eddie, cheated on him with someone who has that vibe and that aesthetic. And he wanted to see what was up because he's very the opposite of that. T Money, I like his presence as the foil to Eddie being the thing that Eddie actually desires, is the one that Chance decides to try to date almost. And he kind of had a crunchy start because as he's teaching Chance the way of being a thug, he ended up abandoning him in a bad part of town because he didn't want to go to jail again. And it felt very like, ooh, T Money, red flag, but he did come back. He did apologize. He did explain his actions. And I could see why Chance would be like, you know what, let me look past it and see what's up with him. And ever since that birthday party, T Money has been trying to kick it to Chance, and Chance has been kind of low key swooning, which is kind of precious to see him kind of like get giddy. But ultimately, Chance decided to go back with Eddie, and that was the last we saw T Money once he decided to do that. Now, he was very understanding. He was, I know what's up, and, he didn't cause too much fuss. I kind of wish he would have lasted longer as a love interest for Chance, just a little bit longer. Even if that wasn't the end goal for him to be with him at the end, I wish he was, a few more episodes to kind of, because I did like his character. Okay, so next we're going to start with, let's see, Brandy. Now, Brandy, she had a point in the show. She was the executive at Paramount and, was the one who gave Wade a job as a writer, and then she gave Noah a job as the rewrite of Wade's script. But she was also the girl that Wade chose to have in a threesome with Noah to kind of get down with the get down. And you know what? I would say she's a good sport. I know it was kind of awkward for her in the beginning because Noah kept going to the bathroom and she was like, here's a little drink because you need to loosen up. And then her and Noah started making out and about to bust down. It was kind of like exciting. I was like, okay, Noah, all right now. But then Wade was like, I don't like this. So she kicked her out. But She was a recurring character, and she became Noah's boss, and I liked her. It would have been nice to have another female character be like on the group, like in the group, but as far as like having a female character, I think she served her purpose very well, and she had her comedic moments, and she was somewhat, because she was a boss, somewhat of an antagonist, which I kind of liked. Like when she gave Noah Wade's script to rewrite, and she was like, "It's business." I was like, I like that. Like, she's doing her job and trying to get what she needed to get done, and I like how she was so assertive and kind of like, the bottom line is this, and like, you know what I mean. So I really liked her character. Next, let's talk about Quincy. I'm on the IMDb page because I don't have the images up for each of the characters. Ugh. Anyways, we have Quincy. Quincy, can't you see? Um, what are my thoughts on Quincy? You know, he was one of Noah's love interests that ultimately did not win out in the end. Um, and you kind of felt weird about him because he was on TV, and his causes were in the right place. Like he was advocating for the queer black man on the regular, but sometimes a borderline came off a little too insensitive. But I don't think he was so much in that whole I'm a showboat kind of way. I want clout. I want to, but that's how it came off. It was a little bit off putting for him to be so gung ho on doing things, especially when Noah was gay bashed and he used that in the thing. But he did ask Noah if he could, even though Noah wasn't paying attention when he asked him, but he still asked him. So he wasn't doing that recklessly. And, even though he was really wanting to get justice and doing the things, he just couldn't see Noah being so uncomfortable, so hurt, so sad. Like, Noah was not fully invested in being the poster boy of that. And Quincy was not trying to see all that. But I do think he's a good guy. The way he swooned him, he was appearing a few episodes before he came a love interest. He was kind of like flirty, kind of like, And I like how they kind of like sprinkled him in every episode, sometimes twice in the episode, kind of like boop, boop, here, huh. And I like that. I like when they give a love interest time to kind of be around. And I'm glad he took it well. Like when Noah broke out with him, he was like, all right, you break people's hearts and you can break their hearts. No. You get people to fall in love with you, then you break their hearts. And I was like, damn, Quincy, you right though. Noah is, I don't know what's going on with Noah. I do not know what's going on with Noah, y'all, because he really out here being reckless with people's feelings. Let's talk about Junito. I like this actor, Wilson Cruz, so I was really excited that he was in this, and he's even on Star Trek right now, which I love. I think he's just so great. I really like his character. He was paired up with Ricky, and he kind of was almost the opposite. Very kind and nurturing. He works in a hospital. He works at the clinic, and he really is a part of bringing awareness to HIV, and awareness and prevention, all those good things. He's the one of the characters who is HIV positive and showcasing that you can live with it. And there are stigmas, whether you can work around that or you can try to fight against it, or the person is not those stigmas. They're more than that, and all these things. He was a very good character for that, but also being a recurring love interest for Ricky and kind of someone that's not tamed the beast, but like Ricky was out here being Ricky. You know how he is. We'll get to him later, but him being the person that Ricky was really falling for. And I do feel bad for him because Ricky did him dirty several times. He was like more self-sabotaging because he wasn't understanding the whole dating thing and his feelings. So he was being just a little too much. He was just being reckless with this boy. And Junito is better than me because he tolerated too much from that boy. And then when they finally broke up in the last episode of season 2, Ricky was so mean to him. Ricky was out here. They have an open relationship, but Ricky was out here busting down, but Junito wasn't. He was like, I'm good. And then Ricky gets him a date, and him and the date hit it off. They didn't bust down, but at the end of the episode, they made out, and Ricky was just being a jerk about it. Clearly jealous, but he's the one who set it up. So I'm like, what you talking about? Sure, I guess he didn't think he'd be jealous, and sure, he probably felt bad that he was the only one getting some nookie on the side. But the way he broke up with him and just was a jerk to him, I was like, Junito, you deserve better. He is definitely best boy of the show, and honestly, I'm glad he kind of like got out of that situation with him for real. Okay, let's talk about Guy. This character first introduced as one of Wade's homeboys who, may not have been in the know about Wade and Noah, about Wade's, sexuality. But then by the end of the episode, he knows what's up. But come to find out, Guy gets down too. And we see him as a antagonistic force for Alex. He is first seen kikiing with Trey, Alex's man. He also works at the hospital and was really cultivating a friendship with him that Alex was not really agreeing with because he knew that boy and he seemed like he was flirting. And at first it seemed like it was all in Alex's head, him just being paranoid and jealous, especially since he opened his own clinic and was doing a lot of different things, right? Doing a lot of different things, and he was already feeling jealous, but they kept being separated, kept spending less time together, and he saw he was spending time with Guy. And what had me shook was he was right. Freaking Guy was playing the long game, trying to get Trey. They went to South Africa together to help kids in need, and they came back closer than ever. And I just I appreciate how silly this plot was. Like how he was first kind of like unassuming, and you could kind of see in the beginning he was kind of like being kind of trying to get between the two, especially that one scene where he saw them Trey and asked about to kiss when they would clean the car up and he splashed them to stop them from kissing and it worked. I was like, ooh, wait a minute now. But then that scene where Alex apologized to him and he gave him a hug and he told him, I'm gonna steal your man. I was like, that's cartoon villain behavior if I ever saw one. And I kind of live for it. Everyone thought he was crazy. Alex was crazy, like going off and doing these things. Like, Alex, come on now. You just being paranoid. You need to calm down. You're going to lose Trey if you act up again because you already had problems before with the same situation. And I thought it was comical. And then when Ricky went to go try to help by talking to Trey, and he ended up doing the same thing to Ricky, give him a hug and cussing him out. And I was like, oh. Now, I kind of wish they did expose him. I kind of wish what would have happened was that they left a note telling, like a note from Guy, no, a note from a fake note from Trey to Guy about him liking him, wanting to be with him, and he fell for it and then tried to push up on Trey. I kind of wish they would have lasted a little bit longer because as soon as he pushed up on him the first time, they bust in. I wish they kind of let Trey handle him for a minute, then come in. But anyways, he guys come up ends, which is kind of had me gagged though, because Wade and Noah went to go talk to his girlfriend. She thought he was still in Africa. She didn't know he came back, and they're engaged. Like what was he gonna do? What was he gonna do? Just be with Trey forever? If Trey would have returned his feelings, we would have left that girl because she was sitting there just oblivious. I can't wait for my man to get back from Africa. Girl, he been back for months now. I don't know why he lied to you, but I mean, we know why. But goodness gracious. Okay, so next we have is Trey. I like this character. I do think that it. You know what? His character and also Eddie, they didn't get the same amount of screen time as Wade, story plots as with Wade, but I do like how they were always present. They were always present. Trey felt like he was part of the friend group low key. I know it's the foursome plus Wade, but I feel like he also occupied that spot in the group, right? Because you had the foursome and then the love interest, a husband, a boyfriend, whoever. He was always consistent. Him and Eddie, and like him, Eddie, and Wade were the most consistent of all the love interests to be in the group, around the group, a part of the shenanigans. I mean, the night that they went to go confront Eddie with the cheating, he was with the crew. He helped him out with talking to the boy that they ran the house. Like they ran that boy's house and he talked to that boy and tried to alleviate the situation before he called the cops. So like Trey's a real one, right? He a real one. And I like his character a lot. Like he didn't tolerate Alex's craziness. Now I wish he would have believed Alex, but he had no reason to believe Alex and the way Guy manipulated things. So it makes sense for him to be like, the person I'm dating, the person I'm with is wilding. He is wilding. But you can tell he loves Alex. You can tell, and it felt so genuine. And the actors had really good chemistry, right? And it was kind of cool to see someone who is tall, muscular, masculine, like Trey was, be with someone who is feminine like that and not have no qualms with that at all. The visuals of that, it was so satisfying to me. I'm glad they had a character like that, a relationship like that, because lots of people like to question those kind of things, like why are you with this person? You shouldn't be with a person. You should be with someone like this, and like the stereotypes or the preferences people have don't align with what Trey and Alex look like. And I'm glad they had that. And they had a relationship that was 7 years long by the end of the second season. So like I really love that for the character. Okay, so next we have is Eddie. You know, I think out of all the boyfriend, husbands, Trey is the most likable one. I think everyone likes Trey the most. But out of all of them, I think everyone likes Eddie the least. Introduced as Chance's boyfriend, and they start their season off with them moving in together. Chance is feeling kind of weird. He has his apartment. He has his whole single, life. Now, automatically, he has a family. He has a man and a child, a stepchild. And it's a lot. It's a lot for Chance. And Eddie cheating on him and getting caught the way he was. I mean, he should have lied. I mean, I don't know what Chance thought was going on, but the fact that he was always gone and doing stuff on the low on the sneak tip to the point where Chance was like, "Oh, absolutely not," and he was cheating. He ran that truck into the house and he was busted and crusted. I was shook. Now, I'm not gonna say I hate Eddie like everyone else does. Everyone's like, well, okay, I don't want to say everyone else. I was talking to my Discord, and someone in my Discord was really coming at Eddie sideways, and I'm like, well, Ricky cheated, Noah cheated, Wade cheated. Like, people out here cheating on the show. I don't know. Everyone should get the same amount of heat for doing the same thing, in my opinion. But what I will say, Eddie's whole thing. First of all, him getting back with Chance after cheating and wanting to get married was kind of insane. But like they've been together for such a long time, and he seemed to be sorry about the whole thing, so they want to work it out. What had me shook was the recurring plot of the daughter. His daughter Kenya was a handful, and first off, when he was cheating, he kept having Chance be the one who taking care of her. He's always having to watch her because Eddie was gone, doing the deal with someone else. I was shook by that. But then it was how she was acting, and he didn't want Chance to parent her certain ways, and he felt like it's his daughter, but like it's our daughter, but like I want the last say. I was like, okay, Eddie, you kind of wildin'. You're kind of wildin', bestie. I'm not sure this is the way you want to go, especially someone who's also raising your child with you. I know that's your little girl. That's your little girl. I understand that you're protecting her. You love her and all that stuff. But like you out here just undermining Chance every chance you got was a lot. And then the whole plot of the bosses. Like he had dinner with the bosses and their wives, and some stuff happened, and the two wives wanted to be together. And Chance wanted to help them out. Eddie was like, oh no, that's my boss's wife. I'm not trying to get in this mess, which he was in my Discord. He was also dragged for that same reason. And I don't agree with that either. It makes sense for Eddie to be like, oh, I'm not going to try to lose my job. This is crazy. I don't want to get involved with this. Because not everyone wants to be involved with other people's business. And he's not wrong for not helping those lesbians. He's not wrong for that. That's nothing to do with him, and it could jeopardize his job, which it did. He has a mortgage to take care of. He has a child to take care of. He has a fiance. Like the bigger picture is this could be detrimental, and it was, You know what I mean? So even though Chance fixed the situation, fixed the issue, got his job back, I'm not holding too much fever for Eddie for not trying to help them girls out. Chance helping them out was his own prerogative, and there are some consequences to his actions, obviously. But he's not wrong for helping them out. But Eddie's not wrong for trying not to. You know what I mean? They both have their reasons to do. Like Chance want to do right by fellow queer people. Eddie wants to do right by his family, and I can only respect him for that. You know what I mean? But out of all the love interests, I will say he's also my least favorite. I'm like, well, Eddie, what, you know. Speaking of love interest, let's get into Wade. Okay, I actually like this character. Unfortunately, I kind of wish Wade had his own point of view almost. Like his situations was always tied to Noah and Noah's narrative, Noah's life, right? There wasn't many points of views from him. You know what I mean? And I kind of wish there were a bit more, just a bit more, because all of his character development or his change of mind happened off screen. Like when he got in a fight with Noah, because Noah wanted to like present himself the way he wanted to present himself in front of his friends, and Wade kind of tricked him to be more masculine looking and kind of downplay their romantic dynamic. And Noah made a point like, if you can't take me how I am, you can leave, and he left. But then at the end of the episode, he came around, and I was like, oh, that is good. I kind of wish we would have saw Wade's point of view, maybe him talking to someone, realizing maybe he shouldn't be this way, or realize how much he's hurting Noah, or how he's hurt himself by being this way. You know what I mean? I wish we would have gotten an on-screen POV for Wade. Now, I will say, Wade started off dating Noah and being affectionate with him and kind of growing to be more publicly affectionate because he was uncomfortable at first, especially when the friends came around, until by towards second season, he was out and proud, basically, out at the restaurant and kissing and doing all these things. And he was really in love with Noah, attempts to get him money for his rent, do that birthday party for him, got his car back. Like he was really out here, you know. Now, when they did argue, Wade was a brat. He was a little toddler at times, being so stank, walking out. He was really upset too when Noah got the job to rewrite his script. He eventually came around and kind of like calmed down, but he was acting so stinking, so butthurt, which is real. Like I wish he wouldn't be that way towards Noah, and Noah felt bad, but it was business, and Wade was being childish. But I understand his feelings. I understand him being upset, but he just was such a brat. Now, him getting cheated on was upsetting. I know the plot revolved around him moving in with Noah and he was just overtaking Noah's place, and Noah felt suffocated and frustrated with that. And which is fine. I think that's a good way to frame a narrative. But it just sucks that during that time, Noah being frustrated with Wade, which caused him to just cheat on him, which was so upsetting. I don't think Wade deserved that. Yeah, he was being annoying by moving in, but like and trying to get a house, and he wasn't out yet. Like it was a lot. It was a lot of things. There's a lot of reasons why Noah had frustrations, but I don't think he deserved to be cheated on. No. And then second season they're broken up, but I guess he's out for real because he got a whole nother man, Dre. I will say him being friends with Noah after that was really nice. They kind of kikied a lot and it was cool. And their whole romance didn't start up again until like maybe halfway through season 2, which was I'm kind of like, okay, work. But also him cheating on Dre with Noah. I'm like, Wade, I don't know, bestie. I know. You wish you were there to protect Noah when he got gay bashed. Also, when Wade went up there to handle the perpetrators, oh, because they got off scot free. Basically, they got off scot free. He was like, "Oh, absolutely not." He handled them. I was kind of shook. I know Vine's not the answer, but the way they beat up Noah and it was like got off, like go off where you better get them. But him staying with Noah and they busting down. and staying with Dre after that. Ooh, because Noah left Quincy. Like he left Quincy, so But Wade stayed with Dre. Wait, what's going on? But it seemed like by that end, Dre wanted to still stay with Wade, and he told him get in the car, and and unfortunately got in that car accident. But I like Wade. I mean, he was on one a few times, and he had some growing to do, but he grew pretty quickly. It would just happen off screen or kind of not happen. I just wish we would have saw his point of view. Like, if we saw his point of view, it would have been better for the character's growth to kind of really see, because he really was just changing after cooling off. He was cooled off and like, my bad. It's fine. Like, I was like, okay, Wade. All right, so next we will have Chance. Chance. The intellectual, snooty type. Now, he didn't seem as snooty, but they're all kind of like shady and judgmental, all four of the main boys. But I like Chance because he was a character that I did not expect to have more of a comedic beat. Like when he was doing his homo thug lessons, he was a source of comedy during that era. He's also seemed to be the most mature, or the one that has the better disability. College professor. I forgot where Eddie worked at. We had a man that worked at a certain place. They had a big old house together with a child. He seemed to be living the more standard family life out of all the four friends. And I like him. He kind of, because the friends, they all had different dynamics with each other. Like I like how he has a moment with Ricky. Like he was upset at Ricky for leaving him in the hood and not pick him up like he said he would, and kind of like, you know what I mean. And then his whole he aside from Noah, he's the only other character who had a real rotating plot threads. Right, we had him with his man moving in, his issues with that. We all saw his point of view. I know all the four main characters, we always saw their point of view, but I'm glad we did. We saw his point of view on that, and then also his man cheating on him trying to like be different, date a homo thug, getting back with his man, getting engaged, dealing with feeling like he's like one of the wives, even though he's not a wife. You know what I mean? Him helping the lesbians, the church not wanting to have his wedding inside the church really hurt him because he wanted the traditional values he grew up with. He wanted to have that a part of his life and part of his wedding, and him ultimately being like, you know what, I don't need them. They're just tolerating us. We need to be celebrated. I was like, okay, I know that's right, Chance. I think it's great that he's really trying to fight for his rights. He had that whole meeting to like to be able to get married there, and he was not playing with that. But once they gave him crumbs, he was like, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. I really like Chance. I, I would say out of the four, he's like my least favorite, but like maybe not, because I really like his character. He's very logical, right? But also his emotions also come into play as well. Um, I like him a lot. I mean, he is one of my favorite characters overall. But I was like, out of the four friend group, I think he would be number four. But I think he's number three, and the next person will be number four, who's Ricky. Ricky, can't you see? Okay, so he was this typical promiscuous one, bunch of sex, bunch of hookups. That was his whole thing. And then, he had the whole like tame the beast, type of plot line with Judito when he was falling in love with him and everything. Ricky, it's easy for someone to not like a Ricky because of his lifestyle, but I don't think that's fair. Like he's not. I don't think we should hate him because he's promiscuous and wants to get down with the get down. But we can dislike him for his views on feminine presenting people, like when he hired that boy to work for him and he wasn't trying to kick it to him. But he liked Romeo, who is a feminine presenting individual, and he was just talking down about that. And I was like, "Ooh, Ricky, calm down." And I know he was upset that someone didn't think he was attractive and who wants to kick it to him, who they didn't find his whole vibe appealing, and they found someone else that wasn't the exact opposite of him. He couldn't take it. I'm glad he got educated by the other boys about that, because like, come on now. Especially No, Noah and Alex, two flamboyant members in your friend group, are that way, and I need you not to be doing too much. You're doing too much, Ricky, Ricky, Ricky. Now he's also presented as the selfish friend, but even though that's the case, he's also there for his homies in different ways. Like he's there for Noah. Like he not playing with Wade. He's not playing with Wade at all. Though he does abandon Noah every time he gets like a little trick or something, a little hookup. He does abandon him, but at the end of the day, Ricky gonna ride for Noah, gonna show up for Noah, and I love that. And I love that so much. And most of the reason, a big part of the reason why Wade does some growing. Like he realizes, like, oh, I need to do right by Noah and do these things because what Wade isn't doing, Ricky was doing for Noah. And that episode where Ricky tried to hold Noah in the back seat and like Wade's like, no, I got it. See, that's growth. Ricky really got to him and really was showing him like, hey, you out here, that DL stuff ain't gonna really work with Noah. You need to be about it for real, for real. And he, so go off Ricky for that one. Also, when he went to go help Alex with his relationship with Trey. Now, it was more selfish reasons because Alex was at his place crying all day. So he had a reason to like, let me get this boy out of my place. But he did help him out. He did try to make it right. Oh, and that scene when Noah got gay bashed and Rick had a whole monologue about how he loves Noah and he wasn't like he felt so like hurt that he was hurt and all these things. He cried and I was like, oh my gosh, Ricky. Ricky, go off. I know that's right. I know that's right. Now his whole thing with Janito, it was like this. You see the growth in Ricky at moments like he was really understanding people who have HIV and dating someone who is and while he isn't, and the learning from that was really good, but then he'll be a jerk because of one reason or another. One reason or another, he will like ebb and flow, and like at his core, he is a jerk, but he also is someone who has feelings and like can have empathy and feels bad for his actions sometimes. Sometimes, because when he left Chance, he seemed like he was like, "Teehee, my bad, y'all." Like and he was very insensitive at times. He would say some slick stuff and like make things worse, but he kept it real. So it wasn't like he was like. It was mean for him to say certain things because it was inappropriate to say or it might make someone feel bad. But he wasn't. He was just telling the truth. He wasn't coddling anyone. You know what I mean? So go off. I don't know, Ricky. Ugh. Because he was often antagonistic, right, towards the friend group and the love interest at times. So I'm kind of like Ricky. Okay. Next, let's talk about Alex. He's actually factually out of the four my favorite. So obviously Noah's number two, but Alex is number one on my list, y'all. The humor, the funniest character on the show. And I know he is seen and is the comic relief of the series, the typical flamboyant gay man in the group who has all the quips and like and the sass and he plays that role. However, despite him being so funny, has lots of depth, has lots of nuance, right? He will ride for his friends, which I appreciate. He's, I like it that, he wanted to try drag and he decided to try, but he also felt insecure about it because he didn't know if his man, who is so masculine, would like someone to be even more feminine than he already is. You know what I mean? I like the fact that he was an advocate for the HIV prevention and sexual health, the clinic thing, to the point where he did not like how the clinic he was working for was running, so he started his own, which I think was admirable. Like I said, his whole plot line with Guy and Trey was hilarious. And I love that scene when they first had a little tiff, a little issue. When they went to therapy, the therapy didn't really work. They were arguing in the therapy session, but he took him to the market where they first met and they explained how they met and the whole situation. I thought that was so precious. That's when I really saw that the actors had chemistry during that scene. I really love that scene so much. Now, I will say I hate that his plot line with Guy was his only other plot line in the show. You know what I mean? Like he didn't have any other side plots. I mean, I guess a clinic, but I wish there was more things going on with the clinic, like maybe some pushback or something else happening with Alex beyond the guy stuff, right? Not that I want him to struggle with his clinic, but I wish there was a little bit of struggle, a little bit of something else, maybe trying to get some funding, or maybe some people did not like the fact that he had that clinic there. Something else, something for him to fight against. But he also fought against the church when he went with Chance. So like he did have things he was doing, and he was a very great supportive character in other people's storylines, which I appreciate. But I also appreciate that he got his own storylines. I just wish they were kind of varied because I feel like Noah and Chance kind of had an multiple, at least 3 to 4 different plot threads, and Alex had maybe 2. You know what I mean? I wish he had more, but he is my favorite. My favorite. Now, for our main character, Noah. We made it to the end, y'all. Noah. Okay. So I like Noah. He is akin to the Carrie Bradshaw. They're both like writers, but for different reasons. But he's the main character of our show. He's a Noah in the Noah's Ark. Noah, Alex, Ricky, and Chance. He's a Noah. And the young ingenue, hopeless romantic, soft spoken, very stylish. I mean, some of the styles are kind of questionable, but I like how he experimented with his style, with his hair. He had an afro, he had braids, he was slicked out, it was short, it was curly. Like he had all the styles. I'm sure there's a lot of people who know a Noah or can see themselves in Noah. So, and the actor Daryl Stevens really played this role really well. Now, I will say, Noah feeling, because, okay, early on, they established he's never had a boyfriend before, so he felt naive. Like he kept asking his friends for advice, what he should do, but he was so naive to that thing. I was like, how is that possible? That Noah has never dated someone or been in a relationship before. I'm not saying it can't happen, but someone like Noah, it would seem like he would already be booed up with someone at some point. Even though he almost hooked up with Ricky, but that didn't go nowhere. But anyways, Noah getting with Wade. I like their little courtship. They both have their issues and traumas, issues and trivial stuff to get over, to get to a good point. And I love how that Noah, even though Noah in the beginning was kind of shy, reserved, didn't know what to do, like, ooh, I'm scared, ooh, would stand up for himself though. Like he would cuss Wade out when Wade needed to get cussed out. He wasn't so passive. He wasn't so like, he is a nice guy, so he wasn't popping off on the regular at Wade, but he would pop off on Wade, like, pump the brakes. He'll pop off on Ricky, pump the brakes. Like he would not take no crap from no one for the most part. For the most part. And also he will also ride for his friends. He will be there for all the boys when they needed him. I love that. Now, him cheating on Wade is crazy to me. Crazy. Now, don't put it past anyone. Anyone can do that. It's not like it's because he's the main character or how his personality is. Doesn't mean he won't ever do that. You give into your emotions. You give into your, the lust of things. So sometimes you may slip up, or sometimes you are, do things without thinking for real. But damn, Noah, why'd you do that? Ah. And like doing that and then dating that man afterwards was so insane to me. I mean, I know him and Wade broke up and like whatever, so you shouldn't have to like wait for Wade, but like, what was that guy's name he dated? I forgot that boy's name. Because he only lasted like 2 episodes. The season finale of season 1 and the premiere of season 2. What was his name? Not. Damn, I forgot that boy's name. But anyways, I just think that Noah breaking up with these boys, knowing that he couldn't commit to them fully or he's not really feeling them fully, was nice of him, I guess. But also, why does he? I know he's in love with Wade. Ooh, excuse me, y'all. But it just seems like I don't know, y'all. I just the whole dynamic between him and those other boys was nice on paper. They got along and everything. It just this whole Wade thing got him messed up. And I wish that wasn't the case. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish there was other reasons why he wasn't really feeling those other guys. Cause, you know, they could have been something good for him. You know what I mean? They could have been something good and like Wade would be his first boyfriend. Doesn't mean he has to be with him forever. Right? But also I do ship Noah and Wade, so like get back together. Like get back together. It's just y'all. It just didn't really work out. So I'm like, you don't really need to be with him, but also get back with him because like, hello. Um, Now I will say, him cheating on his boyfriend, another boyfriend, is crazy to me. Him, him like breaking up with Quincy was good, but like at the fashion show, you can do that afterwards. You know what? Come on now. Um, and then when he had gay badge, it really broke my heart. And like the whole thing about him not wanting to be a spokesperson, be the poster boy for that was so real. But I also understand why he felt like, okay, y'all, Quincy's just doing what he needs to do because he's fighting for this cause. I believe in this cause because I don't want this happening to anyone else. Yada yada yada. I just felt like it was so real as well. Like, because the friends were coming at Quincy sideways. Like, could he not be showboating all the goddamn time? And like, and Quincy was being insensitive to Noah in the situation because like he just got beat up. Like, y'all doing a lot. Also, what do y'all think about him dating Baby Gat? Part of me wish he would have given that boy a chance. Yes, it would have been another DL thing, at least at that moment. And Baby Gat is a lot. Like, that character was a lot. So, like, I can see why he was not interested. And that's why he chose Quincy over him. But I kind of wish he would have at least a couple episodes date that boy just to see what's up. I just want to see what's up because Noah can rein him in. Noah got him together a few times, so like him dating him would have been kind of cool to see that dynamic play out. But yeah, so that's Noah. Overall, he's my second favorite character of the show, and I'm very excited to see what happens in the revival of Noah's Ark. I wonder if they're gonna go off the movie. Oh, by the way, this whole video is about the TV show version of the character, not the movie versions of the character. The movie, maybe I'll do a review recap. I'll watch the movie again, maybe. But their characters are mostly the same. They just all have relationship issues in that movie. So it's got a lot of drama in that movie during Noah and Wade's wedding. But let me know below if you want me to do like a movie recap or have a little sit down chit chat about the movie. But yeah, let me know below who's your favorite character. Let me know why. Let me know who's your least favorite character. Okay, let me know your favorite characters out of the four main boys. Let me know your favorite character out of the boyfriends and love interests, all of them. And let me know your least favorite out of the boys and least favorite love interests. I'm very curious about that. What other queer show should I watch and review? I know you're gonna say Queer as Folk. Maybe I'll do that too. Because me and my friend, we started rewatching Noah's Ark, but then we also start jumping to watching Queer as Folk. So maybe after we rewatch all of Queer as Folk, I'll do one of these with that show. Even though I could do it now, because I've seen Queer as Folk a few times. Actually, only twice, but I've seen all of it. So, but I'm watching it again now for the third time. So let me get refreshed, and then I'll do another one for Queer as Folk. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next video.